Hello, Dan from UK Moneyman, and here today to talk about the truth about equity release. There's a lot of myths about equity release. There's a lot of old information out there on the internet. So this is just to give you an overview of what equity release is and how it can work for you. So the first distinction that's really important to draw is that there are two sorts of equity release. The more old-fashioned form is a home reversion plan. I've made separate videos about them. What I'm talking to you about today is a lifetime mortgage. Okay, so this is the most common form of equity release these days, and it is just a mortgage. So the lender lends you an amount of money that's secured by a charge against your property. It's registered at Land Registry, just like a mortgage that you would have had when you were younger, or going through and moving house or whatever. The real difference between a lifetime mortgage and a normal mortgage is that the payments are optional and there is no end date, so it's designed to last you for the rest of your life. Okay, so the interest rates tend to be fixed for life, although there are some lenders out there now who are offering discounted rates for paying the interest for a set number of years. But generally speaking, the interest rate is fixed for life. And if you don't make regular payments, then the interest is added onto the loan each month, and gradually over time the amount that you've borrowed will increase because the interest is added to it, and you will pay interest on top of interest. So that's known as compound interest, and what it means is that the interest that you pay each year will increase as you grow older, as the loan balance increases. But when you talk to an advisor, you'll be provided with an illustration which will show you exactly to the penny what would happen to the balance of the loan with the adding interest over time. And you can make a judgment then as to whether that's right for you. And obviously it's always a good idea to pay interest, but this is the real world. Some people can't afford to, and that's the reason that they're doing equity release in the first place. Okay, a couple of things that people don't really think are true with equity release in that you can move home. So it's portable like a normal mortgage. There are various safeguards in place with different lenders. So if you've had the mortgage for a number of years and you move and they don't accept the property that you move to, then you can repay the mortgage with no penalties. But generally speaking, you can port the mortgage, which is move it to another property if you choose to move. Another thing is that they think that you'll lose your ownership of the home. So like with a normal mortgage, you still remain the 100% owner of the home. When the home is sold, then the charge at Land Registry, which is the mortgage that the lender's given you, needs to be repaid. But the house is still yours. If there's a balance after the mortgage has been repaid, then that would go to you, or if it's after your death, it would go to your family. Now, there are some lifetime mortgages out there that allow you to protect an amount of equity if you want to leave a specific amount of money behind. That's also available. If you're borrowing as a couple, if one of you goes into care or one of you dies, then the other still has the right to remain in their property for the end of their lives. Now, this is just a very, very broad overview. There's so much more about equity release, but really the best thing to do is to speak to an advisor, talk about your personal circumstances, and they will run through how an equity release plan would work for you. If you'd like to book in for a chat with me, there's the link below, or you can look at the Equity Release Council website and they will put you in touch with an advisor as well.